Sherrobi.
The Boggs Center team is a collective of progressive thinkers from diverse backgrounds, creating a tapestry of independent thought towards the collective spirit of using revolution as a gateway to evolution through struggle. In mission, helping grassroots activists develop visionary leadership and critical thought to rebuild and respirit equitable community is the goal. The stories, ideas, and philosophy of the Boggs Center team is inspired by the legacy of Jimmy and Grace Lee Boggs' instrumental work. Watch, listen, and experience this heartfelt message from the Boggs Center team.
For one another. And so that is why I opened up my own, because I believe it's in the, what I call inner work, in the compassion and the love is where it's going to be changed.
So the inner work that you speak of in opening up the home, the Boggs Center is also another community house.
Mm-hmm.
In what ways did seeing the Boggs Center operation inspire you here? So that's about it.
So what I learned from the Boggs Center that I did not see here is, and when I say here, in my neighborhoods, for instance, like within block clubs, most of the Detroit areas are organized through block clubs. And most of those block clubs are hierarchical, where you have, the president, they're using Robert's Rules of Order, kind of inflexible. The focus also mostly with many of block clubs they're focused on beautification of the block. It's more like a social club, so to speak. Whereas the Boggs Center is again more about developing people and leadership. So not only could you socialize and enhance your block, but again it's about personal development, about advancing people to become the best that they can, and not only with people themselves, but everything. How do you impact the earth? How do you treat just one another? So one of the things I say a lot is, prior to going to the Boggs Center, I've never sat in a circle format and had a conversation. And so I understand the importance of being in a circle, the semblance of a circle where it's never broken, or where and you have unity in the circle. So bringing that practice here when I'm hosting block club meetings and when I'm holding meetings is huge, because we can be closer together. It's a different type of vibe than having rows or having tables in front of you. It invites a different type of spirit and unity and togetherness. So that was one of the things I was adamant about bringing back to my neighborhood. Also, just the idea of restorative practice in justice. I had a chance to, on the ground here at home, when I actually had some challenges in my neighborhood, and I won't go into specifics for many reasons, but I was able to diffuse the situation. It could have really become very violent. Could have really been very violent. And was able to bring in some practices, some neighbors who were neutral, where I would say where I and I'm gonna say another neighbor was having some challenges, and by understanding different techniques versus fighting back and forth for being violent, made a big difference. One more story since I've been here. Another thing that happened or practice that I don't think that I would have done or made had I not been exposed to the Boggs Center, and just the thinking around being more humane and more compassionate is just being more, I was more patient with some neighbors that I was interacting with. I've always shared But I'm going to say as a result of the understanding that I was bringing to the neighborhood, from just conversations at the center, then practicing those ideas, because they were just ideas and theories. And that's, you can have, you can have a theory of be kind to someone, but when when the stuff hits the fan, that's another thing, right? So, but longer story short, as a result of my learnings, there were some people in the neighborhood who benefited, and a person who was really challenged. I would say a 19-year-old was reading at a third grade level, was in the streets, and now is independent with a family in another state. And that, I believe, is directly came from my association with the Boggs and the people there. And Ron Scott in particular with this last story that I told you about.
So, all of these things you're learning. One of the things is big. It's evolution through revolution and struggle.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you? Evolution through revolution and struggle.
Evolution through evolution and struggle. So, what it means to me is, if you ever seen the box in the shirts, it's the R in parentheses, and then the evolution. And so what it means to me is, as we are struggling to become more advanced people, and more advanced to me means to think about one another, to think about how we can help and we can build regardless of what happens between us, and to just figure out how we can continue to build. That's what revolution means to me at first. I mean, at one point I thought it was taking over power, but I don't believe that anymore. So evolution, because that's the revolution part, but the evolution part for me is just the constant evolving. It never stops. And so you're always in the process of, it's never ending. So you're always in the process of becoming based upon what's in front of you and the changes that's in front of you. Being flexible, yet being committed to a vision that you have.